Your man and yere any or no contract say on supply street lights no. Or to me supplier na. Yenya street lights now on supply no any or na. In fact, the polls now say a good warehouse. Any street lights in a good warehouse no. Ye busan said okotoya for dien and na onya no. Our ECG contract be na. Yes, our millions of ECG contractor may they be very soon. Now, Mamin ko enu na me dwedwa bibi mu nkyerɛw. Team, stay with me. Mamin ko enu na me dwedwa bibi mu nkyerɛw. You see the story. Yaba be ECG story no. Ye kyerɛw ade bi. The reason why at the NPP they don't want us to talk about ECG. Containers ayira ECG equipment. On say na say videos be around. Manfo hu say ECG cables. Yako dampen wo in sawem aduagiri anodompre mameka bibi nkyerɛ anodompre saa nyoma na muhu no ne constituency nya ne dia tie saa ECG equipment cables poles. Now before me de mo bɛkɔ ECG story no me pese me bie mo adwene na muhu bibi first. Now muntie Kennedy Agyapong time ɔkɔ PZ kɔ kasa muntie ne ye pa ɔka ECG nsɛm ye wi abebuta question na afi ma kyerɛ mo ECG no omo bɔ mo krono no. The reason why MPP for one person beka ECG no ho asɛm. The reason why Afenyomakin has stayed away from the ECG matter. Anything Afenyomakin jina parliament can say ye nyina yenya ba ko ne solve ECG problem. No. Omo wi amo no omo wi Ghana no MPP for. Na mo me enko back kakra na ye ntie Kennedy Agyapong ɔkɔ PZ no ɔka bibi fa ECG ensam ho polls ho me wi a me bie wani wa ade bi ho.
Suppose na mo pay any cables wires samode begusu a very simple. Ye ni abemu enso metimi ama Ministry of Energy as supply mo sa cables in street light. Me kwa me warehouse. No matter suppose no me will be gua. As for street light in here, my friend me a setting some street light. It may call no matter warehouse. So even I go. So me here. So me here next Ministry of Energy ebe cha. Me ankasa meto post no e de abram enti se sika na me ba no se ne amo akire magnenti e wa brantie wo minsom gaji ye diskare be ye adwuma me no eto e hye me bottom se si a temptation e be ba no.
Now Kennedy call PZ no o kan asem bi o say suppose any cables na mo pa any the easy any din kra easy job. In fact now buy ni power nanso obetumi afa ways be my Minister of Energy no at the poles any cables li bia bro mo nampo se minister ne kra ka se onya ono ankasa our warehouse our poles any cables gum. In fact o se wa check it or you very sure say street light there obebregu. Kennedy Agyapong remember ne lawyer ne Afenyomakin on a board chair of ECG. Now, Kennedy Agyapong, in the past, your man a contract to supply electricity lights. Street lights. Ever since there, we are yet to see the full complement of Nyoma supply. Ever since there, Kennedy Agyapong Jisika on a company ni Jisika. Ever since there, the supplying of those street lights no ever since there. Now, an MP who is not the Minister of Energy comes to tell you, say, our warehouse ECG posts gum, our warehouse street lights gum, and that he will be going to bring those poles and street lights. Mumusa Kennedy Agyapong say, your man yere any or no contract say on supply street lights no, or to me supplier na, dabi. Yenya street lights now on supply no ene ohana. In fact, the polls now say a good warehouse. Any street lights in a good warehouse no. Yebusan said, Okotoya for Dien, and Onyano. Our ECG contract biana, yes, our millions of ECG contractor may they bet very soon. You see, these people, they have played on your conscience and done everything to indirectly take it from you without you people knowing. Also, and the onwangasa general catcher must say, poles, street lights, any sign of manyamano, or will be. Now the question is, yenim ni krom, asem dumping, light could be no. That means the street lights ne guano, poles ne guano. Ya pesa kene Japan chere baby okoto ni nyina free. Ya pesa o chere baby a onya sa light ni nyina. Now, sa video na mo hu na mama ko hu cables, any poles e wo nsawe mu no. Anadompre na me be chere the connection. Anadompre what with this stolen containers. Any the role I will play in these stolen containers, any ECG materials. On sa video we, it's making it's on circulation on social media. Watch this video very well. Sign your mama copy no another pre constituency in the war.
No, not be a buy a honey intina. And a prayer. I say it to me, but never my motion ye. Because Morgana. Maka just papa and Bobra. Papa and Bobra, and so papa. Do say an echoso. Yeah. Enti area mo nipa kwantia. Nipa antia enti o the dada sa na ma we nyina koso ma hu no mo report to na nkofo anteke ahye. Ah. So big company no run. Pay on the site in this. And it go to Gano. We will go on. Mm-mm.
Expo. 2024. It's a fresh crowd.
Ah, fresh crowd. Fresh crowd.
And yes, a starting flow with Badia. People will pass out. But if you say you'll be camping.
Oh, yeah.
You also to me found some funny machine never found. And I will be poor veil.
So another pre constituency post we are not on prayer. Now me show how we are ECG cables, street lights, posts. Remember, Peter Mbeu catcher say buying MPP buying Emma Kennedy Agyapong a street light contract 100 million or supply one supply he kept it. Amewu Nebeka just said they gave Kennedy Agyapong, ECG ma Kennedy Agyapong, 100 million contracts, street lights. Into Kennedy Begina PZ, no catch them say, our street lights be breguo, our poles be breguo. They know what they are telling you. Because ECG street light belongs to the government of Ghana. Eti Agyapong contractor the man no, was he able to supply all the poles and street lights? No. And internet oye bold okojina PZ me was street lights go. In fact, my friend me warehouse egum meti se bia bremo because ECG, you know, they were running it as friends. Now I'm sure the link at the Kudientia, you see these people, the MPP are quiet on the ECG matter. And internet afenyo marking Kasongo 99 until say waka ECG assembly hu biem una de kro. He is guilty. Investigations ekoso. They know some of them. Hey? ECG are their way. The time of movie investigations, so the NPP will not have a front in parliament. The NPP in parliament, they will not have a front. That is the reason why the NPP minority in parliament, they have moved away from the ECG issue. Argentina NPP and your press conference kakraka about the ECG. So NDC is accusing them of something. Why do you think they have stayed away from the ECG matter? Argentina MPP fonka ECG no Argentina, they have stayed away from the conversation. It is because they know that their main men are the ones who committed the crime. Now, let's go into the books. You see this. And the strategy they put together, and interest was study another prayer on can ECG no one sem on can want some cry. But another prayer, do you know, say he was on the board of ECG? Do you know? The minority chief whip, Habib, do you know he was also on the board of ECG? The minority leader, Afenyo Makin, these people, come out. Do you know these three people who are leading the MPP today in Ghana, the minority, all these three people were on the board of ECG? Yeah. Crime now moving in our ECG. From the board now, I'm taking that decision now, mu cables, more lights, mu bibiano. These three people who are leading the MPP today in parliament, all these three people were on the board of ECG. Time issue when you know AC no, another was on the board, Afenyo Makin was on the board, and Habib Idrisu, the minority chief whip, he was also on the board. It is a minority in parliament. If they have refused to speak on this ECG matter, then it means they are front. They know the three of them, they can all end up in jail. Now let's go back and show how they did the plan and why they are quiet. These are dangerous people. You never listen to MPP or anybody speaking for MPP. Because you see, party is a disease. Now let's go back. You're starting free. You see, in 2022, Chenye, Napo, in 2022, Napo was the energy minister. Me chira baby a plan free. Mamim biem. In 2022, Napo was the energy minister. The deputy energy minister na Agyapong Mesa. And the second deputy, near friend Williams Owusu Edu. Now, when you go to ECG board, Tamana Napo energy minister na, it was Kelly Gajepo. The MD of ECG was Dubik Mahama. And then Anodompre was a board member of ECG in 2022. Did you know? Yeah. Anodompre today is the minority leader, deputy minority leader in parliament for the NPP. He is deputy to Afenyo Makin. So in 2022, Adekudientia want to say Anodompre ECG no one omunya press conference. The front of the NPP, they have moved away from that conversation is because they were the ones who orchestrated the crime. In 2022, now Anodompre was sitting on the board of ECG. All the decisions that were being taken, Anodompre was part of it. And you do not think, say, NPP, Afenyo Makin quickly coming out to tell you, say, oh, you know, Ghanaians, let us all solve the ECG problem as a nationalistic thing. Obwa. They are the ones who did the damage. They are the ones who connived and teamed up. ECG boss and ECG to destroy a ECG. Into sha Napo Energy Minister 2022. Agyapong Mesa Deputy Energy Minister and Mr. Edu second deputy. Now ba ECG boss na Kelly Agyapong na yawo Dubik Mahama as the MD of ECG and Ano Dompre. Now here. Now when you come to 2023, something happened. In 2023, changes were made. Remember, this is the same group. And the Omokacho said, Dumusaba, Monso Kaniano, Mamen Chamo. Sa video na muko uno, in Sawadu Ejino. Sanyo mani nina anodon predia. He stole it from ECG. Because he was on the board of ECG. Yeah. 2023, in the year 2023, Nanapo and a energy minister. And na omuchenji Agyapong Mesa. And omude obi a friend Herbert Krapper ebe sheho as deputy. Remember, 2022, Agyapong Mesa was the deputy to Napo. Omuba 2023 no, and omuchenji Agyapong Mesa and omude Krapper ebe sheho, and they maintained the second deputy minister Edu as energy ministry. In Napo State, they changed Agyapong Mesa and the Krapper Herbert Krapper besheho and omu maintaining second deputy energy minister. Now over ECG in 2023, did anything happen? In 2023, Kelly Agyapong was still there. Herbert Dubik Mahama was still there as the MD. Ano Dompre in 2023 was still a member of the ECG board. Or a criminal guy. And it just won't say ECG as some wakebi. That is why they have moved. That is why they don't want that conversation to go on. That is why today you don't see them having press conferences to be demanding ECG containers na irano because posts na cables na irano a women fire. And you see, it's so interesting. Say it is the leadership of the minority today. They were the people who were sitting on the board of ECG. Now, when Agyapong was taken out, Ayade Herbert Krapper, something also happened. In 2024, Herbert Krapper, he was acting as the board chair March 2024. Herbert Krapper na Obey deputy to Napono, he became the acting board chair of ECG. Inti the same time now Oya deputy to Napono, he became the acting board chair of ECG. Efrisena Kelly Agyapong in March 2024 had resigned. Inti they brought Herbert Krapper from the ministry to be the acting board chair of ECG board. In 2024 March, na Ano Dompre was still on the board of ECG. Now, Dubik Mahama was still in post, was still at post because March 2024, na Dubik Mahama resigning yet. Na why not resigning? Kelly Agyapong. Into Omo Movie Krapper, who was the deputy energy minister, they made him the acting board chair of ECG. Into Saosha, changes now, Bano, Krapper or top, Krapper or down. He was acting as board chair and also the deputy minister in 2024 March. Team. Krapper be a board chair acting when Kelly Agyapong resigned as the board chair of ECG. It is still Ano Dompre is constant from 2022, 2023, 2024. Ano Dompre was on the board of ECG. Into all the decisions that were being taken, Ano Dompre was sitting in there. Napo was in there. Dubik Mahama was in there. Now, Krapper abe some substitution be which is not permanent. Now, Ekufuado would need a board chair for ECG because Kelly Agyapong has resigned. Krapper is a deputy energy minister. He's acting as the board chair of ECG. Into MPP4 had to make some changes because they needed their cartels still to control ECG. So what did they do? This was in March 2024. So that time, Napo and MBF running mate to Edian. Abozege. Napo was still the substantive energy minister. Don't get it wrong. March, Nana Poda, who is substantive energy minister. Now, this is what happened. Make sure be a problem ni free. And it's in MPP. They are not speaking about the ECG issue, no, because on front are criminals. They will all go to jail. Investigations are still ongoing. That is why they are mute. Now, I'm not sure there. Now, in November, you see, in November 2024, Satana na po eko wakwaye running mate ama dey ama eye dey ama eye MPP ama Baumia. Intinapo left as the energy minister. Now what they did was that they brought Krapa back to become the substantive energy minister. And the second deputy minister Ebeye the deputy. Now when it comes to the ECG boss, they moved Afenyo Markin to become the ECG board chair. And then this man called Kwabena Agyapong, ECG MD, because November, not Dubik Mahama so resigning. Kaligajapo echo March. Dubik Mahama so echo close to elections, September thereabout. They needed a new MD for ECG. Into Omdi Afenyo Markin Ebesheho as the board chair of ECG. They brought another person to replace Dubik Mahama. And what happens? They brought the deputy chief whip. Time na omo parliament, omo power no. Na acquire friend Habib Idrisu, not or your majority chief whip, not or your third to Afenyo Markin. They brought that guy to be on the board of ECG. It's technically, another prayer has been on ECG board for about 3 years. Now, you're changing Kaligajapo resigning, Krapa Ako as a substantive minister because Napoko running mate. And the Afenyo Markin abeshaw. Now you ask, say, why na shame fino? Dubik Mahama Soko into the wine about Kwabena. Now, Kwamena. Now, share baby a trick in all. The reason why you are not seeing another prayer here and then say, Afenyo Markin was the board chair of the road fund. Now, what they did was that they moved another prayer from the ECG board to go and take over at the road fund, and they brought Afenyo Markin from the road fund to be the board chair of ECG. Now, you see the trick. So, another prayer for about 3 years has been on the board of ECG. Now, they still needed their campaign in the front, one of them to come and handle ECG board. They had to take another prayer to substitute Afenyo Markin from the road fund board for Afenyo Markin to come here as a substantive board chair of ECG. Into another prayer left around November 20. He left before the elections to go ahead the road fund. Into anything I won't say Habib Abeshaw. It is all follow what they did. It was a simple chess they were playing with you. The NPP, as we speak today, now let me show you this. Obi Obaka say, there are some people who have doubts about these people. Now you see, another prayer joins ECG board July 30th, 2021. And I almost swear another prayer in as a board member of ECG. Ntebia, audience asama ye kano. Ye can't share another prekon. No. Sa post na muna adwejire no. Another predia. Or a lot of them, Kennedy Muobi, Afenyo Markin Muobi, they have stolen everything from the container. Inti, say, uko back to look at what actually happened now. Sa Habib any Afenyo Markin, they all came into the ECG or joined the ECG board in July 2024. Sanko for me and say we are only the MPP or parliament, they are the ones who destroyed ECG. These three criminals. It's ECG problem now. Yeka na nkofobia dina MPP form person mekasa oma dino. It is Habib who is the minority chief whip. Afenyo Markin, who is also the minority whip, and then another prayer who is also the minority chief whip. Only Afenyo Markin, who is now the minority leader. These three people are the ones that almost the ECG cause a problem. That is why ECG container theft in the buy, they were saying, oh, wait there, a national issue. We should all come together and solve it. That Ben out is another prayer ECG as some nubi. Have you heard him speak on it? Have you ever heard this Habib guy speak on the ECG container theft? Afenyo Markin say, oh, guys, let us all come together as a people. No. Videos now muhuno. In some Kennedy kano. These people are the people who containers in free ports. Almost setting up a company. Okay? This is when Habib Idrisu was basically evidence, no? But they are not done the actual. Okay. Habib was sworn in, Habib Denini, by Napo. Habib and Afenyomakin were sworn in by Napo, the energy minister, to go sit on the ECG board in July 2024. So the MPP you are seeing right now, front, no, leadership, no, they are criminals. They are the corporates. ECG container theft now, that is why the NPP leadership, they have refused to speak on it. Investigations, they know that some of them will go to jail. And they don't even want to do press conference. Their communicators are not speaking on it. Social media, no, they don't want to speak on these things because the leadership may say NDC person will break MPP. I mean, the good party, no. Afenyomakin is still begging behind the scenes. Afenyomakin is begging. Habib, Arnold Dompre, Afenyomakin. These three criminals, these guys. Now, let me show you also on ECG website. They published it. Now, when you read ECG Ankasa website, what they wrote there, my man one kind. So if we saw all about Mr. Afenyomakin succeeded Mr. Krapa, who has been appointed as Minister of State at the Ministry of Energy. Mr. Krapa's elevation to his ministerial role was approved by Parliament after his nomination by President Akufo-Addo. Previously, Mr. Krapa served as the Deputy Minister for Energy. Before his new appointment, Mr. Afenyomakin chaired the Ghana Road Fund. With his transition to the ECG board, Majority Chief Whip Arnold Dompre will assume the role of board chairman of the Ghana Road Fund. Consequently, Mr. Dompre will step down from his position on the ECG board, a role that will now be taken over by Deputy Majority Whip in Parliament, Habib Idrisu. This is on the website of ECG. I did not publish this. When you take your time and analyze the air question, the reason why the NPP as a political party are not speaking, the leadership of the NPP are not speaking on the ECG theft na air question, sa post na mbrante nko hu ye no any cables na yenane no Afenyomakin Arnold Dompre Habib Idrisu. They are the ones, these three people, these are the three criminals who want you to believe, say, oh, you know something, ECG, these are the people who did the crime. The MPP, they are despicable. Makacha must say, when you would send Wednesday, JJ Rollins to catch them Ghana for Sanko for you, for anytime you say, oh, my name social media, did my time, did my hammer, time, did the end this year. Me say, in Tiana Day, young Giant could the MPP, Chiana. Yanko to about my MPP, then a yenye. They are substituting the leadership at ECG board. Inti, so study ECG problem no 2022 and I don't premo start here. Odidi one Afenyomo. Remember, Afenyomakin or Kennedy Agyapong lawyer. Kennedy lawyer ni Afenyomakin. Kennedy nya 100 million contract from ECG. Remember, another prayer, those times a majority chief whip, no, he was on the board. So he influenced Kennedy Agyapong enyas a contract no. Remember, Kennedy Agyapong lawyer, Afenyomakin or minority leader became the board chair. Do you know the contract Kennedy got at ECG when Afenyomakin became the board chair? I will show you. The latter part of Afenyomakin and MPP government. Do you know the contractor Afenyomakin the market Kennedy Agyapong or ECG? Kennedy Agyapong no nyo biao. Mami ka bi nchiramo. You people have no idea, eh? Kennedy Agyapong. Time na Akufo free office no. Na Akufo bind the Kennedy Agyapong ka 23 million Ghana. 23 million Ghana. John Muhammad ma Kennedy Agyapong be Kennedy Agyapong. Muhye no bia mumbusa no. And it's na me hu no say a despicable human being. Kennedy Agyapong, Kufo time, Mumbusano. Contract also nya in the first contract, 23 million Ghana. That is 23 bunkan mi no time akofo so mo ntua kede Japan sa sika no but it was a contractor kofo mo ma Kennedy ye. Now when power changed Atamils buy no it was John Mahama as the vice president and Kennedy Japan didn't documents bet say he has actually done some work for Kufuor and that legitimately why Jumano. That was the time na Kennedy Japan about politics. Every single day, Kennedy Japan was going to the vice president office showing his documents. Say, if Mahama Dems don't help pay legitimate job he has done, Kennedy Japan was going to go to jail because not the bank's car. You people have no idea. That guy is a despicable thief. Or you need to be on kaya die. Eti Kennedy Japan betina TV to say, Yenshi Mahama, Yenku Mahama, or Yakwasiana Kennedy no me time. I saw Nimi Nyansa. Kofuor now the Kennedy bar politics mina ombe wie sika no. They did not pay Kennedy. John Mahama the leader here catch and say, we have gone through your contract. It looks like legitimately you were given this legit contract. You supply the things and that you have to be paid. John Mahama and making sure the right thing is done. No illegality. Kofuor himself did not pay Kennedy. But John Mahama saw to it say, a Ghanaian has supplied electricity equipment to Ghana government. And that he deserves to be paid because I'm a foreigner. So John Mahama and a lady Kennedy and making sure say he has gone through the process. Atamils looked at it. They made sure say everything is legitimate. Because I went to meet TV say Mahama Guno. Mumbusano. Mumbusano. Do you know the things we know? There are so many things we don't tell you people. In the summit, say, don't ever think about the MPP. MPP, they don't care about anybody. It is what they will get. It is what they will get today. There are people who kill and laugh about it. They have nothing like sympathy or empathy. They don't have it, that thing. I don't hate Obi or MPP, but I keep telling people, say, that party, the leadership, Sanko Fowe are not people to be trusted. But sometimes, because we try to let Ghanaians understand from the education we give them. And the candidate in Ghana said, yeah, he's a changed man. Me say, Mumbusa Kennedy Japan same way. Okasa me boa, I'll quit this job. Mumbusa na same way. So okasa me boa, I'll quit this job. Kennedy Japan ultimate jina baby ankasa me boa. John Mahama made Kennedy Japan who he is today. Ofia brochero nkuteske bia. He didn't have a dime. John Mahama made Kennedy who he is today. He was just oyohiani ofia brochero ba no niska. Kofuor mamode ne ba oba kura ba politics oko asen ho omoko chiche bu command seat no. Kennedy did not have a dime. Onisika ye de business Kennedy Japan. John Mahama mo and making sure that contract na onya Kofuor and Kofuor no contract was secure. They paid him his due because he had done the contract. And no na Kennedy best starting yeska. Also nya ska way. Also average no 3 jobs. A day don't make it $2,000. Now just this guy is a liar. He had nothing. Or you're just ungrateful. According to Metna TV, you say Yanko John Mahama. John Mahama gave you crumbs to eat. John Mahama on the top pan or two form and I don't get my fire sabwa. John Mahama did that for you. There's so many things you Ghanaians don't see. You don't know. Say a banner bekano credit chema. Ayana Montia say it is not personal. We want Ghanaians to understand, say, the NPP as a political party are not supposed to come close to power again. Now, Yanko Enim, but don't send me anything. Now you have an idea of ECG. What they have done. And the ECG conversation, you do mukania. Monga say MPP form yensa we mumuso mo say intina mo ECG board so and in some way remember Napo na head omu nyina o. Napo was the energy minister. He basically did that substitutions near they knew what they were doing. And then Napo na baka jam $2 million worth of condensate ayra. Condensate no or say evaporate yako napo. $2 million worth of condensate ayra. Yeti krom ha. Kwasi ampe na hwene se phone no ene nam Ghana kan kwasi asem aden ayama ne be president. Aden tia so your this year. Now your this year mu fie. Udi hini wo busu fie o. So your this year, wo your this year wo krom. Onya this year o Ghana. Eba amemu a, eba governance a, MPP, mumuni what is governance. Ahinie na moya ade. Yen so hini we, yen kokoma hini we, yen ko defend on hini we. Eno na yemo dwuma. Na eba oman chichire a, you people have no idea about governance. Ahinie chichire, and I'll give it to you. Yen ko sumo hini we, yen ko yi hini we aye, yen ko dada hini we, yen ko yi and I'll give it to you. You are good at chieftaincy nonsense. But when it comes to governance, you people have no idea about governance. And then there be a person motia siena na mu jimi mo ho, mum MPP for ni bi mu jimi mo ho. Se mo bese ahinie ne yeto so aba, mo ma yehu ne afanhye constitution no, ne ento ahemfo so aba so Ghana. If that is what you people want to do, bring it up. But when it comes to the holistic development and building of this nation, the NPP has no knowledge about building a nation. These are tribal bigots enshrined in their foolishness who think, say, we as Ghanaians, we need to consider baby obu free and sana ye bumai. And yes, di bumai. We are not going to allow that again. And that does not mean obi mu ana ombu obusia ana ombu hine. Ohine bia ni Ghana eto so aba. So I don't give a heck about Ohine. What I give a heck about is the constitution and the person we as Ghanaians democratically have voted for to lead us to govern this nation. That is what I care about. I don't give a shit about Ohine bia or Ghana. Because Ohine na udi no, enye ye nyina ye to abama o, e webusuafo de siwu. So whatever you get, unyama webusuafo, unyama Ghana. And he said, Ghana mine kura ma wadwuma se di, na so your Ohine na ompese obedi ajai. Because you are not there to work for Ghana. At the end of the day, Ghana does not pay you. In the soil you know Ghana. Now you're here man come gurugu. Oh you're here what bikroma wona ukrom. Oh you're here what infantimemu asantimemu. Now on my name ma wadwuma na so wonya. You have the right to stop. Aden. Because enya ongwa na obeye dwuma Ghana. You can sit home for people who want to work. Work. That is how it works. Into obian ko twane be ma meka se yesrew. Ohini we ya ma wadwuma. Into uso wonya. Onya, it is your right. Because wabusuafo no musi wo hene no. Omo nsi wo hene se kodi asem. E wa bontene. Di wo fi asem. And if you think, say, Ufia Semno Nebetumi Aboa Achichere Womaya, sit there and deal with it. Obiansha Obia and your force in Ghana. And these people, everybody should get this in their head. Ghana problems, bebre. Ebimoha, yakan wasem eko aba, yakan wasem eko aba, nothing has changed. Ghana problems, bebre, reoccurring problems. You can't want someone there, Ochinana Saba. You can't want some there, Ochinana Saba. So there's nothing new that we have not seen under the sun. People are making us think, say, and the problem that was there yesterday, today, some extraordinary something can change. No, we need to, as we move forward, try and solve our problems. And Ghana's solution does not lie in anybody's hand. It does not lie in any individual's hand. It does not lie in any clan's hand. Ghana's problems lies in our hands to solve. And it's a only say problem no a dosuma untumia sit side another Ghanaian will take over. That is how you build this nation. Nobody's entitled. President na ye no kurampo at a point of to me say wagina home wabre or ko leave. Now what is your problem? You can choose not to do whatever you want to do. President na atoro swaba na ye the taxes to ano at a point to me call leave. So I don't see why anyone should be worried. Say President Fremia Kone or Frawone Sebedi Jumebi now we shall necessary Jumano in fast one is why Jai. So we decide Jumano and Frewa Kumema one hour how na say one casa we president na kwa. So if you think say President Ima would Jumebi Sekodi na say we Ghana ni na a Jumana Ukodino one casa wow. Tell the president that is not my responsibility. Especially when you are not the only person in Ghana who can do that. It is right to do that. That is how it works. Nobody's entitled. Ghana's problem cannot be solved by one person. Problems are Ghana home. Like Edum, in Suashoto, in Tokwesi. It has been going on and on and on. And yani atima de dan tim. Yani ya kan ne ndo ana, yani ani e be kan ne. So what is the difference? Nothing is going to change. We have to forge forward. We need to find solutions to our problems. And if you're Ghanaian and you're willing to help Ghana, you need to join the masses to help solve our problems. But so I will say, be a problem no, and yadia obetuma yet problem no, why you be paying too much? Ghana president how? Ghana for how? Miracle, Ghana for mama jumebi na min to me ya men yet. The US government mama jumebi na min to me ya. I'll tell them min to me yet. So every Ghanaian has the right to say, Ejuma way, Mr. Ramo, min to me yet. Especially when you are not paid. Ejuma yentia okadia opera wako ya den. Stop it. I'll be back. You're still watching. With all due respect, extended version. Gigim. The
NPP cannot be underestimated. You know it, I know it. They've been in existence for a long time and have been changing their names up till this day. The nature of who they are. Listen. Munjir. The nature of who they are, what they are, where they've come from, is something they are happy with. And they will be there for a long time. Let's not mimic their behavior. Let us reach into the principles and the values that emerged out of the circumstances that gave birth to us.